In this case, we've been asked for two tangents, and in each one we're going to be looking for the y over the x. And we want 2 pi over 3 for the first one. Well, our first 30 degrees is pi over 6, so this will be 2 pi over 6. This will be 3, 4 pi over 6. As soon as we get to 4 pi over 6, that's the one that simplifies to the one we want, 2 pi over 3. And so as we think about this triangle here, if all the way over to here is negative 1, 0, then I can see that this is only a half of that, and it's in the negative direction. And since it's a 30, 60, 90, that means my height will be the square root of 3 over 2, the longest side. And so my y then will be the square root of 3 over 2, and my x will be negative 1/2. Well, if I copy dot flop and multiply by negative 2 over 1, instead of dividing by negative 1 over 2, should have been a 1, then we can see that our 2's cancel out, and I have negative square root of 3 over 1, or just negative square root of 3. That's the answer to the first one. Now we're going to look at tangent of 5 pi over 6. We have to find that. And so as I continue around the unit circle, this was 4. Well, the next 30 degrees will be the 5 pi over 6 we're looking for. We look at the next triangle here, when this is 30 degrees in here, and now I can see that my y-coordinate will be a half, and my x-coordinate is almost negative 1, but not quite, negative square root of 3 over 2. So in this case, our y is 1/2, and our x is negative square root of 3 over 2. I wrote this as a division problem so that it was easier to see the multiplication by the reciprocal. The 2's will cancel, and we'll be left with negative 1 over square root of 3. But that's not fully simplified because we have a radical in the denominator. So I'll multiply by 1 in the form of square root of 3 over square root of 3, and I'll get negative square root of 3 over the square root of 9. That's why we multiplied by the square root of 3, or negative square root of 3 over 3, because the square root of 9 is 3.